السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. مع grade 10. We are in model 3, lesson 2, solving quadratic equations by graphing. Today we want to learn solving quadratic equations by graphing. So in this lesson we want to learn solve quadratic equations by graphing and quadratic equation standard form of a quadratic equation. So I want from all in a new page, please write the title, solving quadratic equations by graphing. Done? Okay. This first time, this is what from the last lesson, a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation. What is the meaning of the quadratic equation? It's an equation that includes a quadratic expression. So write please with me, define a quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation that includes a quadratic expression. Yeah. The standard form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx two here. The degree will be 2. So after you wrote the define of the quadratic equation, write please the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Done? Okay, the first example, write please this example with me. Solve 10 minus x squared equals 4x plus 14 by graphing. So who can tell me now what is the type of this equation? What is the type of this equation? What is the name of this equation? What is the name of this form? Quadratic equation. Excellent, Murad. Quadratic equation. Why quadratic equation? Because the degree here will be 2. The degree will be 2. How to solve this quadratic equation using the graphing? The first step, we want to prepare this equation. We want to prepare this equation. So put all terms in the same side. Put all terms in the same side. So we can transfer 4x and 14 to the first side. And always remember, when you remove any term from side to side in the equation, switch the sign of this term. Switch the sign of this term. So the first step we want to prepare. So we can take 4x to the first side or 14 to the first side. We will get x squared plus 4x plus 4 equal 0. Equal 0. Then we want to find the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry, as you remember from the first lesson, we have equation to solve this line. What is the line? What is the equation of this line? We have this rule, x equal negative b over 2a. X equal negative b over 2a. What is the value of b? B, the multiple of the middle term, the factor of the middle term, 4. So right here, 4. And what is a? A, the factor of the first term. So means here 1, the value will be 1. So 4 over 2 times 1. And we have here negative. Negative 4 divided by 2 will be negative 2. So x equal negative 2. This is the line symmetry. As you see here, this is here negative 1, negative 2. The line symmetry will be here. Will be here, from here. Then we want to make the table to know the points. To graph the curve. So create table, the first field for x-axis and the second field for y-axis, and you can choose randomly any values for x, then substitute in the equation, then you can find the values of y. For example, when you choose negative 4, go to the equation and substitute for the value of x negative 4, you will get the value of y will be 4. Repeat the same idea, you will get the values of the y. Then you can represent the points. We have the first point, negative 4, 4. As you see here, negative 4, here 4. This is the first point, the second point, third point, the fourth, the fifth point. Then you can match between them. You will get this curve. Who can remember us? What is the name of this curve? When you have quadratic equation, what is the name of the curve? Is it circle or parabola? Parabola. The name of this curve will be what? Will be parabola. Okay. Now, as you remember, always the solution of any equation means the intersecting point between the graph of the function and the x-axis. Who can tell me here, what is the intersecting point between the graph of the function and the x-axis? How many points we have here? 5. And we have 5 points, but what is the intersecting point? What is the common point between? What is the common point between the curve? We have just 1 point. As you see, we have just 1 point. This point common between the curve of the function and the x-axis. We have just common point. The common point here means the solution of the equation. The solution of the equation, or the zeros of the equation, or the roots of the equation. So what is the located of this point? As you see here, negative 2, 0, negative 2, 0. So the solution will be negative 2. So the zero of the function is negative 2. Therefore, the solution of the equation is -2. And we can write this solution x such as x equal -4. How to check if our work true or not? We can take the value of -2 and substitute in the same equation. If you get the first side equal the second side, means we have the right solution. So I want from all please to write the steps here, to write the table, and to graph with me please here. Sure. None? Okay. We are done. Okay. Finished? Ahmed, finished? The second example, we have the same idea, but here we have no solutions. No solutions. Listen, please. Use quadratic equation to find two real numbers with a sum of 24 and product of 143. We want to find the solutions from this question. We have here two ideas in this question. We have the sum will be 24 and we have the product will be 142. Fine. How to find the solutions? Let x use any variable like x. So let x represent one of the numbers. You can write with me. Let x represent one of the numbers. So if you have the first term x, what is the second term if the sum of them will be 4? Will be 4 minus x. Will be 4 minus x. So, or will be 24 minus x. So we can write 24 minus x. So now we know this, the two terms here will represent the other number. What the meaning of the product means the first term times the second term. The first term will be x and the second term will be 24 minus x. So the product of them equal what? Equal 143. So as you see now we have equation. We have equation. Try to solve this equation and to prepare this equation. So here you can use distribute. X times 24 will be 24x and x times x will be x squared. And here we have 143. Then you can remove 143 to the first side and switch the sign. So you will get here x squared minus 24x plus 143 equal 0. So this is the first step. The second step, We want to find the axis of symmetry. How to find the axis of symmetry? We have rule here. We have rule. What is the rule? X equal negative b over 2a. X equal negative b over 2a. Where is b? B always in the middle. B, the factor of the middle term, negative 24. So the value of b will be negative 24. And what is the value of a? A, the factor of the first term in the quadratic equation. So will be 1. So solve negative divide by negative or negative multiplied by negative will be positive. 24 divided by 2 will be 12. So x equal 12. This is the line of symmetry. This is the line of symmetry. Then we want to make a table of value and graph the function. So you can randomly choose 5 values for x. Then you can substitute each value of x in the equation to find the value of the y. So when you substitute x equal 14, you will get the value of y3. And 13, 0, 12, negative 1, 11, 0, 10, 3, etc. So we can choose any points, no problem. Then you can represent this point as you see, the first point, the second point, third point, fourth point, and fifth point. Then match between them, you will get the curve of the function, the parabola here. Now, who can tell me what is the solution from the graph? How many common points between the graph and the x-axis? 2 points, as you see. We have 2 common points, this point and this point. This point and this point. And as you see, the first point between 10 and 12, and the second point between 12 and 14. So the zeros, what is the meaning? What the meaning of zeros means the solution. The zeros of the roots means the solution of the equation. The zeros of the function are 11 between, in the middle here, between 10 and 12, and 13 and 13. So how to check? You can add, is it 11 plus 13 equal 24? Yes. Is it 11 times 13 equal 143? Yes. Done? You wrote this example? Wrote this example, please. This is important. Write with me this example. This is important. Just write the question. Use a quadratic equation to find two real numbers with a sum of 24 and a product of 143. And here the steps. Okay. How are you, Muhammad Al-Amir? Fine. Okay, Murad. Up. You need up. Quickly, please. Ahmed and Saif, are you wrote the second step?
Yes.
You wrote the table and the graph? Sure. And step 4 and 5? هذا الاسبوع بنمشي على الجدول القديم، الاسبوع الجاي في جدول جديد. Done? Finished? Right, listen please here. In this example, we want to estimate the solution because we cannot know exactly the solution. Solve negative x squared plus 3x plus 7 equals 0 by graphing. If the exact roots, what's the meaning of roots? The solution. Roots means the solution cannot be found. State the consecutive integers between which the roots are located. You can write with me. So the first step, we want to find the axis of symmetry. How to find the axis of symmetry? We have rule here. X equal negative b over 2a. Then substitute the value of b and a. What is the value of b? Look to the middle term. The factor will be 3. So write here 3. And what is the value of a? So the value of a will be here the factor of the first term, negative 1. So write here negative 1. Then you will get x equal 3 over 2. 3 over 2 between 1 and 2. This is the line symmetry here. This is the line symmetry here. Then we can make the table. You can choose randomly here. This points for the x, negative 2, and the symmetry point 2, negative 1 and 1. Then here 0. Then you can 3, 4, 5. Then you can substitute each value of x here inside the equation. You will get the value of the y, as you see. Then you can represent the point, the first point, the second point. Then you can match between them. You will get this graph. As you see, the common points between the graph and the x-axis, we have 2 points. We have the first point here, the second point here. What is the value of the point here between negative 1 and negative 2? But we cannot know exactly what is the value. But between negative 2 and negative 1, this is estimation. And the second value or the second solution between 4 and 5, between 4 and 5. So solution is between negative 2 and negative 1, and other solution is between 4 and 5. So I want from all to write the question, to write here the line symmetry, to write to graph the curve here, and to create the table. Then write here just write here the solution. If we don't have common points between the curve of the function and the x-axis, what is the solution here in this case? Who can tell me? No solution, no real solution, no real solution, okay? Done. Done, Michelle. Finished. So this is our lesson for today. Who has any question about these ideas? Okay. طيب. Listen to the extra practice. So use the related graph of each equation to determine the solution. Right. In the first example, as you see here, we have this is a quadratic equation and this is the graph of the quadratic equation. Who can tell me what is the solution here from the graph? How many solutions we have here? How many common points between the graph and the x-axis? 2, because this point between the graph and the y-axis, this is not solution. The solution means the common points between the curve and the x-axis. So we have here, Murad, 2 points. The first point here and the second point here. Right. Who can tell me what is the value of x here? Just we have -1. So here x equal -1. And what is the value of x here? As you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second value will be 4. So it means we have 2 solutions. We have 2 solutions. But in the second example, who can tell me what is the solution here? How many points we have? 1, just one common point. And what is the value of x here? 2. So we have here just x equal 2. And here, how many solutions? No real solution. No. Right, listen here. Solve each equation by graphing. by graphing. Who can remember us? What is the first step? You must to prepare the equation. You must to prepare the equation to make all terms in the same side. And here we have ready equation. What is the second step? We want to make the table. Value for x and value for y. Then you can choose randomly values for x. And for example, if you choose -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. How to find the values of y? Substitute the values of x inside the equation. For example, here you have here -2. So here -2 squared means 4. 2 times -2 will be -4. Plus 1. 4 minus 4, 0. Remains 1. So the second point here means 1. And if you have -1, take the value of x, -1. -1 squared means 1. 2 times -1 means -2. Then plus 1. 1 plus 1, 2. 2 minus 2 will be 0. So the second point here will be 0. Like if the value of x 0, 0 squared 0. 2 times 0, 0 remains 1. So the point here will be 1. If the value of x 1, 1 squared means 1. 2 times 1, 2. Then plus 1. So 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1 will be 4. If the value of x2, 2 squared means 4. 2 times 2 also will be 4. Then plus 1. So 4 plus 4 will be 8. 8 plus 1 will be 9. Now you can make the coordinate plane. This is the x-axis. And this is the y-axis. Then you can represent the point. The first point, -2 in the x. This is -1. This is -2 in the x. And 1 in the y. So the first point will be here. The second point, -1 in the x, 0 in the y. So the second point will be here. Then 0 in the x, 1 in the y. So 0, 1 will be here. 1 in the x, 4 in the y. This is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the point will be here. And 2 in the x and 9 in the y. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the point will be here. Then you can match between them. You will get the graph. Who can tell me how to find the line symmetry here? What is the rule? X equal -b over 2a. What is the value of b? 2. And what is the value of a? 1. 2 times 1 will be 2. So it will be -1. This is -1, as you see here. This is the line symmetry here. This is here, x equal -1. Okay. And number 5, the same idea. Number 6, the same idea. Right. Example 7. use a quadratic equation to find two real numbers with the sum of 4. And we have two terms, the sum of them will be 4. If you choose the first term x, what is the second term? 4 minus x. 4 minus x. So the product of them, so you can write x multiplied by 4 minus x. The product of them will be what? Will be negative 96. Prepare this equation. You can use distribute. 4 times x will be 4x. And x times negative x will be negative x squared. We have negative 96. Then make all terms in the same side. So we can remove negative x to the second side will be x squared, and remove 4x. Remove 4x to the second side will be negative 4x. Here we have plus x will be negative 4x. Negative 96 equals 0. Then we can find the line symmetry. X equal negative b negative 4 over a over 2a means 2. Then you can make table. X and y. For example, if you choose 1, or if you choose 5, for example, or 1, 2. If you choose x2, 2 squared means 4. Negative 4 times 2 will be negative 8. Negative 96 equals 0. 4 and negative 8, negative 4. Negative 4 and negative would be negative 100. And if you choose 3 squared means 9, minus 12, minus 96. Minus 3 and minus 96 will be minus 99. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. The line symmetry will be 2. This is here 1 and here 2. 2 in the x and negative 100 will be about here. And the 3 in the x will be here. So this is the graph. If you want exactly graph, you can find five values. This is better. Okay. So this is our lesson for today. Who has any questions? Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.